Welcome to the deep dive. Our mission today is pretty specific. We're digging through the best, most useful, sometimes really surprising lab hacks shared by scientists all over the world.
Yeah, that were compiled by Nature's Careers team.
Right, a huge collection.
Yeah.
And we're looking for those efficiency secrets, those time savers that work whether you're, actually in a lab coat or just managing a super complex project.
Exactly. I mean, yes, the source is aimed at researchers, maybe doing things like PCRs, polymerase chain reactions.
Right.
But these strategies, they go way beyond the lab bench. Fundamentally, this is about getting the most out of your scarcest resources. Time, focus, mental energy.
So our goal here is to pull out those core ideas, productivity, organization, even career resilience that you can hopefully use right away.
It's like a shortcut to smarter working, really.
Okay, let's do it. Let's unpack this. Starting with, I guess, the most modern angle, technology, automating the boring stuff, the digital lab.
Yeah, and the big idea here, the philosophy, is the automation rule. It's simple but powerful. If you spend more than an hour a week every single week on some task that's just dull, repetitive, you're basically wasting your time. You've got to stop doing it manually, find a way to automate it.
That 1 hour mark, that's a really clear trigger, isn't it? Makes you actually quantify the cost of that, like admin drag.
Totally. And we saw a great example, this ecology researcher constantly doing PCRs.
Which involves lots of precise calculations, right?
Yeah.
Buffers, dilution.
Exactly. Super repetitive. So instead of crunching those numbers every single time, they wrote a custom function in Excel, handles all of it automatically.
Yep. Boom, time back. Brain space freed up for actual thinking, not arithmetic.
That's the goal. And it's not just calculations. AI is really changing how people even consume information now.
How so?
Well, there was this researcher using Google Labs Notebook LM. You feed it documents, it summarizes them.
Okay.
So they were using it to create these audio overview summaries of research papers, basically like a personalized podcast episode about the papers they needed to read. Oh, wow. So they could listen on their commute.
Exactly. Turning reading time into listening time. Super efficient.
That is smart. And we also saw AI being used for learning new skills, right? Tackling that bottleneck.
Yeah, an organic materials chemist needed to learn coding. Found that the usual Ways books, online courses, weren't clicking perfectly, so they switched to basically chatting with AI tools like ChatGPT or Claude, and they learned faster.
Why did that work better?
It's fascinating. The AI acts like a custom tutor. It keeps the explanation right at the edge of what the researcher already knows.
So it doesn't dump too much info or assume you know things you don't?
Precisely. It avoids that feeling of being overwhelmed or bored because it's too basic. It's learning tailored just for you, instantly.
Okay, that sounds amazing. But digital tools. There's always a catch, right?
Always. The big warning sign in the sources was, don't blindly trust the output. Never, ever share something an AI generated without reading it carefully first. All right, there was that embarrassing story. Someone copy-pasted an AI response that still had the AI asking, can I help you with anything else?
Oof. Yeah, tells you everything. The digital hack needs an analog human check. Every time.
And good digital habits support that check. Flawless organization underneath. Bad file structures just kill efficiency.
Which brings us to coding workflows. Good discipline there is key. Laura Vischetti had a great tip. Always use sequential numbers in your script to file names.
So like 0 unclaimed data, 0 to analyze, 0 3 visualize, that kind of thing.
Exactly. It makes the order totally obvious, which is critical if you share your work or even just for yourself, 6 months later when you've forgotten the steps.
Oh yeah, I've been there. Did I normalize before or after the regression? Total time waster.
Absolutely. And for keeping track of everything, Bradley Voytek's advice, commit it all to GitHub, not just code.
Data files too, text files.
Everything. Meeting notes, proposals, data. Use GitHub's version control.
I know GitHub for code, but why for, say, meeting minutes?
Because it creates that single source of truth. Everyone's working off the same version. If someone makes a change, you see it. If someone accidentally deletes half the document,
you can just roll it back to the last good version instantly.
Right. No more panic about which version of the final draft is this. It saves so much hassle.
And underpinning all that is just simple, consistent file naming. The advice was clear. No spaces in file names. Ever.
Yeah. Use underscores or hyphens instead. And always use the ISO standard date format, YYYYMMDD.
Year, month, day. Why is that specific format so important?
Two reasons. One, it's unambiguous globally, is 030424 March 4th or April 3rd, depends where you are. ISO fixes that.
All right.
And two, crucially, it makes files sort chronologically automatically. No matter when you created them or how your computer is set up, consistency in naming is like the secret sauce for finding things quickly and collaborating smoothly.
Okay, this is where things get really interesting for me. We're shifting gears now. From the digital world, files and code, to the physical space. Low-tech genius. Simple, immediate hacks for your workspace.
Yeah, sometimes the simplest things make the biggest difference. Let's start with safety. Often overlooked, but surprisingly simple sometimes.
Like what?
A chemist who'd been burned shared this rule. Force yourself to pause. Think before you grab. Think before grabby grab was the phrase, I think.
Huh. I like that. Why?
Because hot things often look cold, or things that were just in liquid nitrogen. You need that moment of cognitive check before you touch anything that might have been heated, cooled, or, involved in some process. It's about building a safety habit.
Makes sense. And for labeling things, especially in harsh conditions. Forget the Sharpie.
Totally. The pro tip is a grease pencil, also called a channograph pencil.
Why that?
The wax holds up way better than ink if the item gets dunked in ethanol or other solvents, critical for samples, right? Saves hours of relabeling, or worse, losing track of what's what. It's that specific niche knowledge.
Okay, moving to pure organization. Some really creative, low-cost hacks. Alice Denton's Bulldog clip idea.
Oh, that's brilliant. Pure genius. You take a big bulldog clip, right? The metal ones for thick paper stacks. Clip it onto the edge of a shelf above your workspace, the two little wire arms that stick out. They make a perfect holster for your pipette.
No way. That's so simple.
Totally. Holds it securely, keeps it handy. No need for expensive, specialized pipette stands. Just a bulldog clip.
I love that. Okay, but let's push back a bit. There was also a suggestion about reusing things like cell strainers, soaking, scrubbing with a toothbrush, rinsing, spraying with ethanol. That sounds incredibly time-consuming. Is it really worth it versus just ordering new ones?
That's a fair question. And yeah, for a really high-throughput place, maybe the labor cost isn't worth it most of the time.
Right.
However, think about supply chain issues. Like during the pandemic, suddenly that $20 piece of plastic might be back-ordered for 6 weeks.
So the scrubbing becomes essential then.
Exactly. It shifts from just saving money to ensuring resilience, keeping the critical work going when supplies are tight. Plus, it cuts down waste, which is also important.
Okay, that reframes it. It's about continuity, not just cost. Now, planning a new workspace. The chef's triangle idea. How does that apply outside a kitchen?
Well, in a kitchen, it's about minimizing steps between the sink, stove, and fridge, right? The main work points.
Yeah.
In a lab, you'd map your most used equipment. Centrifuge, fume hood, sink, maybe. For you, maybe it's your monitor, your filing cabinet, and your printer. Or reference books, computer, and whiteboard.
So you map your 3 core stations.
Yes. Sketch your typical workflow. Are you constantly walking back and forth unnecessarily, crossing your own path? If so, rearrange things to make the flow smoother, fewer steps. It's basic ergonomics, really. Spatial intelligence.
Very applicable. Okay, personal comfort hacks. The cold room one was great, especially for anyone working in chilly server rooms or warehouses too.
Yeah, forget those bulky shared lab coats they often have. They're stiff, they restrict movement.
So what's the better way?
Layering, good thermal long underwear, a warm hat, and this is key, fingerless gloves.
Fingerless.
So you still have dexterity. You can handle small things, type, write notes, without your fingers freezing, but also without fumbling because of thick gloves.
Smart. My personal favorite low-tech hack, though. Pure resourcefulness. Cutting the wrist end off a disposable glove.
To use as a hair tie.
Yeah, it's cheap, it's always there in a lab setting, and it works. Brilliant.
And that same kind of thinking, using what's around, using Lego bricks.
Lego for what?
For prototyping, planning workspace changes, like should this machine go here or here, build a little model, or even just to hold tricky glassware at a specific angle for an experiment.
Lego.
It just shows the limit isn't always budget, it's often just imagination. Using what you have creatively. These are born from necessity tips, but they work anywhere.
Absolutely. Okay, so we've covered digital and physical. Our last section digs into higher level stuff. Managing goals, protecting time, building your career. How does this all translate into daily working life?
Let's start with goals. There was a really nice visual hack for teams. Mapping goals onto an apple tree.
An apple tree, explain.
So the goals are the apples. They're organized on branches based on category, maybe publications, teaching, new skills.
Okay.
And you color code them by status. Green for in progress, red for stuck, whatever. When a goal is done, you mark the apple as picked.
That sounds kind of elaborate.
Yeah.
Do busy scientists really have time to maintain a visual metaphor like that?
I think the argument is that it saves time overall. It reduces cognitive load. Instead of digging through spreadsheets or project plans, the whole team gets an instant visual status check. Where are we making progress? Where are the roadblocks? It's a shared dashboard, basically.
Okay, I can see that. A single glance overview.
Yeah.
And related to goals. Gamifying deep work.
Yeah, this hydroinformatics researcher tracks their focused work hours like experience points XP in a video game.
Seriously?
Yep. Hit your target hours for the day, gain XP, unlock achievements for consistent focus streaks. It makes protecting that deep work time more engaging, I guess.
Whatever works. And that focus needs structure, right? My Stella's approach seemed intense, planning every single hour of the workday.
Using tools like Todoist and Google Calendar, yeah.
Yeah.
And then reviewing monthly where that time actually went.
It sounds like micromanagement, but maybe it's more about self-accountability,
Yeah.
time protection.
Exactly. It forces you to see where the day really goes. Identify the time sinks, the interruptions, and then adjust for the next month, making conscious choices about your time.
Okay, shifting to career stuff.
Yeah.
Job hunting advice. That cold emailing tip felt critical.
Absolutely critical. If you're reaching out to a potential boss or collaborator you don't know, generic emails get deleted instantly.
So what's the key?
Research. You have to show you've done your homework, read their recent papers, understand what their group actually does. Then in your email, explain specifically what excites you about their work and why you're a good fit. Personalization shows genuine interest and respect for their time.
That makes sense. It shows you're serious.
Right.
And then, before accepting a job, the advice was to do some digging.
Yes. Tactfully reach out to current or, even better, former members of the lab or team. Ask about their experiences. What's the boss really like? What's the day-to-day culture?
That feels a bit cloak and dagger.
Maybe a little, but it's essential due diligence. Finding out about high turnover or a difficult management style before you commit can save you years of grief. Culture fit is huge, often more important than the specific project, honestly.
Good point. Okay, you're at the conference, presenting your work. Poster sessions, brutal on the feet.
Oh, they are. Standing on concrete for hours. The hack. Carry a small, foldable stool, or at least wear really supportive shoes. Seems minor, but saving your energy means you can actually network effectively instead of just wanting to sit down.
Physical endurance matters.
Yeah.
And for communicating your work effectively. The friends and family test.
Yeah. Try explaining your research or your complex project to someone completely outside your field. Your partner, your parent, a friend. Because it instantly reveals your jargon, your assumptions, things you think are obvious but are totally opaque to others. It forces you to clarify your message, find better analogies. It's great practice before you face, peer review or a wider audience.
Makes sense. Test it on a safe audience first.
Yeah.
Lastly, team culture and just staying sane. That donut tradition sounded great.
Elizabeth Tenney's lab, yeah. They get donuts whenever a paper gets a revise and resubmit decision from a journal.
Why then? That's not final acceptance.
Exactly. It celebrates the process, the milestone. Getting an R&R means the work is good, it's on the path, even if there's more to do. Celebrating those intermediate wins keeps morale up. It's not just about the final publication.
I like that. Celebrating progress. And for individual focus, routines are key.
Definitely. Mirko Tricani talked about having clear start and end of day routines, like meticulously cleaning your workspace before you leave.
How does that help?
It acts as a signal to your brain, okay, the workday is starting now, or the workday is officially over. That mental boundary is crucial for preventing burnout, for actually switching off.
Creating separation, good idea. And finally, making team collaboration smoother, especially in meetings.
The simplest fix: rotate responsibilities. Don't have the same person always taking minutes or always leading the discussion. Switch it up each time.
So quieter people get a chance to lead, and the admin load gets shared.
Precisely. It ensures everyone contributes, shares the burden fairly, and brings different perspectives to the front. Simple, but effective for team dynamics.
Okay, so wrapping all this up, distilling these dozens of hacks, what are the big takeaways, the core principles?
I think there are really two major themes that cut across everything, no matter what field you're in. First, embrace the smart, modern, digital tools. Use AI for learning efficiently. Automate the repetitive stuff, and definitely use something like GitHub for rigorous version control on everything. Keep your digital house in order.
Okay, digital discipline, what's the second?
Second, Don't forget the power of timeless, often low-tech, specific organizational discipline. Write things down properly, label things clearly, minimize wasted movement in your physical space. Pay attention to the small details. That kind of fundamental organization, both digital and physical, is honestly the ultimate accelerator.
So it's not just about doing things faster, it's about setting things up so you can make better choices, waste less energy, and free up your mind for the hard, creative work.
Exactly. Organization unlocks focus.
We heard the classic advice, slow is smooth, smooth is fast, measure twice, cut once. Standard stuff.
Right.
But thinking about the unconventional wisdom here, if you, listening right now, can pick just one surprising hack from our deep dive today, maybe it's using that bulldog clip for a pie bed. Maybe it's applying the chef's triangle to your office layout. Maybe it's tracking your focus hours like XP. Which single small change do you think would give you the biggest return on your time this week?
That's a good question to ponder. What's your one hack?
Something for you to think about. We'll catch you next time to the next deep dive.